Myles, you've been able to get good experience last year and this year. How much has that kind of prepared you for this week?
Prepared me very well. I've been preparing for this my whole time since I've been here, so I feel like I'm where I need to be. I'm ready to play.
You think back to last year's Purdue game, you were being carted off that day in West Lafayette. You think about that moment and how much you've had to overcome to get back to playing against Purdue this year?
Yeah, it's been a process, but I mean, my ankle's strong, so I feel better than ever. I'm ready to play them. I didn't get to play them back then, so I kind of want some get back now. So.
Myles, I remember, I don't know if it was Coach Fisher or if it was you talking in the spring about that day and how you were prepared to probably play more in that game than any that you had up to that point.
Yeah.
Is that how you recall it, and just what was your level of progression, that allowed you to get to that place right on the cusp of that Purdue game last year?
I played well during the Northwestern game earlier in the season, and I was playing a little bit like throughout the rest of those games leading up to Purdue. And that night in the hotel, Coach Fish told me to be ready, so I got ready, and I had a little accident. It was tragic, but
yeah, I mean
I'm straight now.
Considering that where you were at and your expectation for that game, how much harder did it make it then to have an injury?
It made it real hard, but I mean, my teammates, they kept me feeling better. So, I didn't want to go down, you know what I mean? So, they won the game. That's all that really mattered to me, even though I didn't play. But I was on the sideline the whole game. It's not like I left. I was there watching.
Right.
So, I mean, it didn't affect me in any way.
When you have a couple of sixth-year guys like Deontay and Markel, what have they taught you? What have you learned from those guys, even just this year?
I learned a lot over time. My football IQ has raised, It's just a lot of key things that they're onto that I'm not onto, and that I've picked up over time. So it's like a lot of stuff that they've taught me, like just for me watching them to be ready for a moment like this. You know what I mean?
How much did you talk to just Deontay this week? I mean, obviously he's healing.
Yeah.
What have you had many conversations?
I haven't talked to him that much. He's been like rehabbing and stuff like that. So, I checked on him and stuff, make sure he was okay. So, we haven't really had much conversation, but me and Markel, we've spoken a lot. We've been on the field during practice and stuff like that, and over the break last week. So, it's just been a lot of information that they've been trying to give me to prepare me and have me in the right mind state for the game.
What kind of challenge will David Bell present Purdue's wide receiver?
He's a leading receiver in the Big Ten right now. He's just another receiver to us, you know what I mean? You got to play football.
He had over 200 versus Iowa, and then Wisconsin really got physical with him and kind of slowed him down. What did you see that Wisconsin did to kind of take him out of the game last week?
They put hands on him. I can say that. They put hands on him. They pressed him up. And I looked at the Iowa game. Iowa was playing off most of the game. So there's just a lot of different things in the defense that you can do to stop a dude. And that's what we plan on doing.
How different of a challenge is Purdue, a team that passes as much as they do versus, maybe a more typical Big Ten team that's going to run a lot?
They do a lot of different things, and other teams within the Big Ten, they stick to one main thing, and they're really good at it. So it's just being able to practice for what you don't know is going to come. So they run a lot of different stuff. So we just been preparing for whatever we get, and quick changes if we do get something we haven't seen.
Myles, what kind of challenges existed for you in coming back from that injury a year ago? I mean, what kind of a rehab was it? I know you were back out there in the spring, so that was just December. How did you make it happen as quick as you did?
When I left the hospital, I started rehab immediately, like the day I left the hospital. So it was just about getting my range of motion back, being able to move, and it's just progressing from there, being able to get my movements back, backpedaling, I'm planting, doing all type of stuff to get back to where I was.
How much of a process was there for you to just feel comfortable, cutting, running full speed, doing all that kind of stuff? Did you get that? Did you clear that hurdle entirely in the spring?
Yeah, it's just a level of confidence that my trainers put in me. Like, you can do it, you just got to do it. Like, I was kind of hesitant on jumping and doing stuff like that and cutting, but they just told me that you just got to do it. Over time, it's going to get better. It's going to hurt while you're doing it, but that's part of the process.
Is it something that you think about now? That you even when you're out of